Alright guys, it's showtime. Can you believe this is the ninth one of this we're doing? I believe this is the ninth. Number 9 for the season. So let's tune in, everyone. Let me just change my audio to this one. And I think they can hear me across on TikTok. I just need to make sure and go live now. I'm going live on TikTok with some revision. Today, our job is to review fractions. So before I go into that, let me just share my screen. Just now, guys, let me share my screen. What's up? What's up? What's up? What is up? Whoa, we inside, ready to go. Now, today we're gonna do fractions. Fractions today. That's not how you spell today. You just know I just pretending here. Today, saying it like like if we're from the Caribbean. What else? Number 2, do you know I have a SEA? This is for SEA students. SEA crash course tomorrow. Now, if you want to register for that, you have to try to do it today to register. So the SEA crash course is tomorrow. If you want details on it, +1 868 3101 306. Send a WhatsApp to that. Don't try to call the number. You won't get you calling the number. You have to WhatsApp the number. So if you know you're going to be in the SEA crash course tomorrow, type I'll be there. I know most of y'all here should be in that. A lot of y'all here will be from the Student Hub. And what else? Form 1, that's for secondary school. Form 1, algebra. Later today. So later today is Form 1 algebra. So pick up all those people who will be there in the SEA crash course tomorrow. Algebra is later today, but that's for Form 1. That's for people who wrote SEA NGSA last year. So that's enough talk. That is enough talk. Can you tell me what your current grade in maths is? Like, did you see any improvement over the last, from January till now? What is your current grade in maths? Current grade. And I'm talking about the SEA students. Or any student, you can tell me your percentage, or you can tell me how much you get out of 75. That's how much your maths is scored out of, or you can tell me your percentage. How you doing? Are you in the 80s? Are you in the 90s%? We going up there? 97. I'm seeing a lot of people in the high percentage. My SEA class, if I need to get an average mark for my SEA class, it's going higher and higher and higher. So last year, our average was probably close to 90. And we had students who scored like 97, 95, lots of 95%. And we're aiming for full marks in the SEA this year. Somebody who's going to get 100% from my class in SEA this year. I can feel it. In NGSA, we had students who got 100% this year and last year. So very excited about that to see if we can continue this streak. In NGSA, that's for Guyana. Students get full marks last year, this year, and that's just a handful of students get that for the entire nation. Like 2 or 3. So yeah, we have high hopes for NGSA, but it's time to begin. 3 of the mixed numbers from the set below will produce a whole number when added together. So this is a popular question. One of the things I do in this question is begin looking at all of the numbers to see if I can get like a common denominator. So that way I can add all the numbers up and try and get a whole number. Now, because I have 12 and 18 here, that kind of messes this up. My best bet is 36. So let's look at the 36 as the LCM. You all understand what I'm going to do? I'm ignoring the whole numbers because the whole numbers don't really matter. I want to add up all these numbers to produce a whole number. So it's the fractions that I'm looking at. And I need to get 3 of these fractions that will add up to make a whole number. So the easiest way to see this is if you LCM everything. This is the worst case LCM I've ever seen in this question. Usually the LCM is a smaller number. The LCM of 9, 6, 12, and 18 is 36. So 36, I'm going to get the equivalent fraction for all of these fractions. If you understand what I'm planning to do, type I understand. Some of you all are so good in fractions, you could kind of guess your way to the answer and then work it out and verify. So now 9 goes into 36 4 times. 9 goes into 36 4 times. So 4 fours are 16. 6 goes into 36 6 times. 6 ones are 6. 12 goes into 36 3 times. 3 fives, 15. And 18 goes into 36 2 times, 14. So I need to get these three numbers that will add up to give me 36. I'm already seeing the three numbers there that will add up to give me 36. I spotted the three numbers. Let me show what made me spot the three numbers. I saw 4 here, and I know to get to 10, I'll need a 6. And then I see an extra 6 there. I'm seeing it? So that's 10, 20, 30, 36. So 1, 2, 3. That's our three numbers that will add to give me a whole number. So adding this fraction, and that fraction together gives us 36 over 36. 16 plus 6 is 22 plus 14 is 36 over 6. So these are the three numbers that I will add together. So the three numbers that I'm going to add together are 3 and 4 ninths plus 2 and 1 sixth plus 4 and 7 eighteenths will be the three numbers that will add together, and this will produce a whole number. Whole number means you wouldn't see a fraction afterwards. Nice. And we keep it pumping. Now that's a pretty challenging question. It's a little advanced. People need to understand fractions pretty good. You need to understand LCM. Let's see what else we can have in store for us in fractions. A storage room had 14 and 3/4 meters of rope. I'm just moving it a little up. Our worker used 4.5 meters of rope, 4.5 meters to secure equipment, and 6 and 5/8 meters to time packages. How many are left? So used, if we add up all that was used, it'll be 6 and 5/8. That's to tie up the packages, and 4.5. That's for the equipment. So adding the whole numbers together, 6 and 4, you get 10, right? And adding the fractions, we'll get 5/8 plus a half. Now 5/8 plus a half is the same as 5/8 plus, and if I change the half to over 8, it'll be 4/8, which is going to give me what? Are y'all seeing? Everybody seeing? We good? And I've seen much answers in this one. Y'all feel free to hit me the answers there. I said just recap. So we have 6, 4, 6, 4, 10. And then the fractions is giving us a little problems here because we have 5/8 and a half. This goes extra. You get 5/8 and the equivalent version to, excuse me, the equivalent version to, what I want to say, a half is 4/8. So in all, this means I used 11 and 1/8. Now, how did I reach to that? Well, it's really 10 and 9/8, but 9/8, if I take away 8 from that, because it's an improper fraction, I will get 1 plus 1/8. That's it. So these conversions, all of this, I expect at this stage you all to be following pretty good. If you're not, you'll have to slow it down and watch it over afterwards. And that's how much was used. They want to know how much is remaining. So remaining is going to be, well, there was 14 and 3/4 to start with. And I have to take out the 11 and 1/8. Now 3/4 is the same as 6/8, right? But it's 14 minus 1, that's the whole 11 minus, that's the whole number section again. So once again, I deal with the whole number section. The 14 and 11 is the whole number. And then I'll deal with the fractions separating, but I'll need to add on that. So that's going to be 3/4 minus 1/8. 14 minus 11 is 3, and 3/4 minus 1/8 is the same as, if I multiply both of these by 2, I'll get 6/8 minus 1/8. And that's why I'm seeing in the chat a lot of 3 and 5/8, which is the correct answer. So that's how you do this question. I hope everyone followed. This is one of the fastest ways to add and subtract mixed numbers. We have 700 people live on YouTube. Well, it's across the 2 YouTube channels. One is the Student Hub channel, one is Kerwin Springer channel. We usually have more people on the Kerwin Springer channel, and we have 42 people live on TikTok. So TikTok, what's up? TikTok, how are you guys feeling? What about this question? What do you think about this question? Is it hard? Is it easy? Hey, Riley's Clips, what's going on? Good to see you here. Good to see everybody locked in and seeing a lot of familiar faces. People calling me the Aura King and all kind of thing. All right, I'm going to take it. I have been known to take a few compliments here and there. I have been known. So insert the correct sign, greater than or less than correctly, that completes the number sentence, 7, 8, 6, 7. Well, 8 and 7 is a real kind of yucky number to find the LCM of. Now, I know both of them are 1 less. So 1 8 will have to be less than 1 7. So less was taken out of the whole. So it's fair enough to say that I'm going to use this symbol. It's fair enough to say that I'm going to use this symbol. But if you want to really want to prove it for sure, well, then you can get the LCM of 8 and 7 is 56. 8 goes into 56 7 times. 7 sevens are 49. Just by a little smooth, you know. And 7 goes into 56 8 times. So 8 sixes are 48. Just by a little smooch. A little but you can tell because 1 8 is less than 1 7. And that's what I will have to take out from this. So I'm taking out a little less. I hope that makes sense. Well, the LCM method is always there to grab it if you're not seeing that, if you can't see one right away that 7 8 is bigger. Moving forward, find the difference between, all right, we love straightforward questions. Don't we love a straightforward question? I just did that. I just did that. What is this? All right, so this is going to be 56. 8 into 56. 7 sevens are 49. 7 into 56. 8 sixes are 48. So we are going to get 1 over 56. 1 over 56. Woi, keep it moving. 1/5 of a number is, so NGSA students, SCA students, PEP students, students across the Caribbean, you are going to get a question on this. Make sure you know how to do this question for the exam and you'll already have 2 marks locked in. Just now, let me just, this person is getting carried away. Kailash, you're getting carried away. You know how to ban your whole profile and delete all your comments. Why are you getting carried away? But okay, let's go forward. Let me ban Gail Nielsen too, since Gail getting carried away too. Are they like the Sahara dust? Are they getting carried away across the whole Atlantic Ocean? Carried away. Everybody else cooking and you Sahara dusting. You dusting, you bothering the whole population. The Sahara dust. 1/5 of a number is 18. What is 5/6 of the same number? So 1/5 represent 18. The whole will represent 18 multiplied by the reciprocal. And then 5/6 of the number, of the whole number, is going to be 5/6 multiplied by 18 multiplied by 5. So instead of multiplying 18 by 5, which will be 90, I just left it alone because I want to do some breaking down first, right? And in the end, I'm going to get 6 into 6, 1, 6 into 18, 3. 5 by 3 is 15 by 5 is 75. Or 5 by 5 is 25 by 3 is 75. Some way you're going to get to 75. Everybody catch the flow? Do you catch the flow? And I know the people in the Sahara dust crew, we are calling people who give trouble the Sahara dust. I feel like it's a good name for them. All your bother in my sinus. All right, that's it, right? So this technique where you represent a fraction, what I call it for class, a fraction represents a quantity. If you want to find the whole, you need to multiply by the reciprocal of the fraction. Fraction represents quantity, find the whole. There's another way, there's a FFO way, finding for one, or unitary method way. If you like that method as well, you can also do it like that. Kevin spent 1/6 of his money on a book. 1/3 of the remainder on snacks. He now has 40 left. How much? So this is one remainder question, just a remainder question. So 1/6 of the money on a book and 1/3 on the remainder. Wait, this is a double remainder question. So after the book, so the first remainder after the book, he is going to remain with what? 6, 6 minus 1, 6 is going to be 5, 6. You know, I just start working the question. I didn't even come up with a way to work the question. I'm so accustomed to these double remainder question. I hope this don't come back to bite me in the long run. 1/3 of the remainder on snacks. He now has $40 left. So I need to get the remainder. So snacks is 1/3 of that. 1/3 of the remainder. 1/3 of 5, 6. Of can always be replaced with what? Multiply, right? That was the trick. We can always replace of with multiply. So this is 5/18 of everything. So far, I think we're cooking. We're starting to bubble the pot there. I think it's fair enough to say that we are cooking. And I'm seeing a lot of answers raining down in the chat right now. After the book, if he spent 1/6 on the book, that means you have 5/6 after the book. 1/3 of the remainder, 1/3 of the 5/6 was spent on snacks. That's 5/18 of everything. He now has $40 left. How much money did he have at first? So if that's spent on snacks, I should have probably not done that. I should have probably said the remainder is going to be 3 out of 3 minus 1/3. So that'll be 2/3. So this is of the 5/6. So this is 2/3 of 5/6, which will end up being 10 and 18. 10 and 18 could break down to 5/9, right? So this is the remainder. This represents how much money he has left. So he has 5/9 left. After all the smoke clear, all he do books and his snacks and whatever, he has 5/9 of his money left. So 5/9 represents 40. So how much is the whole? I said if you want to find the whole, you reciprocate. You reciprocate. So you multiply by 9/5. What's all these hieroglyphics written underneath this thing, boy? And 5 into 48. 8 times 9 is 72. And that's what you all were reading down in the chat. So 72 is totally correct. That's the answer. Bless up. Not 62, 72. 8 times 9 is 72. 8 less than 80. TikTok, Kavita. Not 62, 72. So let's keep going. TikTok now has 71 persons on it. YouTube has 783 combined. The product of two numbers is 12. So I multiply two numbers and I get 12. One of the numbers is 2 and 1/3. What is the other number? Well, if I multiply to get that, to get mystery number man, I need to bring across the number that I have, and that will result in what we call the inverse, the opposite operation. So to find mystery number, if I multiply two numbers to get 1, to find the mystery number, I will have to divide by the 2 and 1/3. So that's going to give me the answer. Now, 2 and 1/3 divided by 2 and 1/3 is a little awkward. Let's change it to an improper fraction and do the little flippy dips KCF thing that we are accustomed to. How about that? So you're going to put 12 divided by 2 3s are 6 plus 1 is 7/3. So far, so good? So far, so good? Somebody asked me, sir, can you replace ChatGPT? Not today, not today. So it's equal to 12 multiplied by 3/7. I hit the hold on 1 second. Why is this not working out nice? The product of two numbers is 12. 2/3, 2 3s, 6, 6 and 1, 7/3 divided 3. Well, the other number is a crazy looking number. I guess the other number is a fraction, 2 1/3. We'll double check it afterwards. We will double check it afterwards. 2 1/3. A lot of you all saying 20. 20 is wrong. This number is going to be a mixed number. Whoa! Parents, pay attention to this one. Most of the chat got this one wrong. So we're getting 5 and 1/7, right? Everybody see the 5 and 1/7 loading up. We're getting 36/7, which is 5 and 1/7. Now we can do a little check. You know, we must always do the little check. So let's do a little check. Check, please. Let's do a check, please. So how we can check it is we can actually take the two numbers and multiply them and see if they work. Now, if you take 2 and 1/3 and multiply by 28 it's going to give you an answer that's bigger than 50. it's going to give you a big answer, bigger than 60. So I don't want to do that. I want 2 1/3 multiplied by 5 and 1/7. Let's see what happens here. This is the same as 2 by 3 is 7 over 3. Multiplied by 5 by 7 is 35, and 31 is 36 over 7. 7's cancelled, 3 into 36, 12. It works out perfectly. 12. So, yay! Our answer is correct. I was talking to my class Friday on the process of eliminating silly mistakes, which should be something that you're very passionate about now. Silly mistakes. What I should call this little segue here, boy. How to yeet the silly mistakes out the window. And somebody said to replace ChatGPT, but let's make ChatGPT make a picture for us. I'm going to tell ChatGPT to make a picture for us, right? And maybe you could draw one too. Draw a picture of a student yeeting silly mistakes on their exam paper out the window. So we wait for ChatGPT to organize up that. That's not. I want to make sure it understands my command. Good. And we are putting that. So how do you stop silly mistakes? Big part of the course here, people. Big part. What are some methods for stopping silly mistakes? 1. Underline key points. So when you're reading the question, hit them a little underline on the key points. Did I do any underlining? I've been underlining every little thing here and there. I could probably up my underlining game, but I usually report the underlining when I'm dealing with a real tough question. Like I underline that whole number. So underlining key points. Good. I'm seeing people saying checking over, reading more, focusing, locking in, review your work. Checking over is a kind of vague thing to say. There are ways to check over. So there are ways to check over. So if the question is easy, and you are a student that are accustomed getting in the 80s and 90s%, I need you to do mentally first. If the question is hard, then think how to get to the answer. Think about part 2 answer. Part here means like you're trying to roadmap. I'm going to add this, multiply that, do that, check that, and then figure out this, and then boom, bang, bang, and I'll get the answer. So you want to think about the way to the answer first. If it's a really easy question, like those section 1 questions in SE, I teach my students to do the question mentally first. You'll see me kind of think through the answer first, and then prove it on paper. Then start writing. Now it's kind of late to start this if you haven't done this technique that I'm going to talk about here. You should be working in statements. Students who work in statements and algorithms step by step have way better critical thinking skills than students who did not practice that. So even if you're a student that just scribbles down little answers and boom, here's come up with the answer, and you're really proud about that ability, that's great. A lot of students at your age are really proud about their ability to just scribble it up and come down with the answer. But maths is not just about coming up with the answer. That method is going to start to fail you as you get older and older. It's about telling the story of how to get to the answer, working out the steps to the answer, and being able to show the examiner that you know that, not just scribble it up and come up with the answer. Very important. So that's why I say statements. I've visited a couple schools across the Caribbean in the last few months, and one of the weaknesses is this. the schools that I've gone to that these students are really focused on statements are killing it. These schools where they are not focused on statements are struggling in the tough questions and the long-winded questions. It's a skill, just like learning how to ride the bike is a skill. Very important, parents, and taking a little time to talk about this, right? So underline the key points, easy, hard. If it's easy, do it mentally first. That's a really important step because it helps you to have an answer and then you prove your answer. So it kind of gives you two ways to get to the answer. The next thing is, after you get the answer, what do you do? When you get the answer, you see me do this a lot on Sunday revision sessions. It saved me so many times. Many times. After you've gotten the answer, read over the question. And I'm really talking about the last bit of the question, really. The part where what they want you to, where they're asking you something. You want to see what it is they're really asking me. The question you're asking is, did I answer the question? You may have heard me say that. Did I answer the question? If you know how this eliminates silly mistakes. Did I answer the question? When you have your answer, ask yourself, did I answer the question? Go back and read it. Oh no, they wanted it in hours, not minutes. Oh no, they wanted it in kilometers, not meters. Oh no, they wanted me to find out the remainder, not how much they have. And all of a sudden you begin eliminating your mistakes. And the last bit is see if, one, there is another way to get the answer. So see, there's another way to get the answer. On 2, a way to PETA, or in secondary school, like my AdMath students know it as anti-CETA. Anti-CETA. And what does that stand for? It's a very important concept for like multiple choice, but it works in SEA as well. It means plug in the answer, substitute in the answer. See if there's a way to double check your answer. Like what I just did. I took the answer and I multiplied it and see if it worked. That's called substituting in the answer. That's anti-CETA there. CETA. So, or PETA. One of them. All right. So that is the way to eliminate a lot of silly mistakes and ease up the stress and anxiety they're placing on their parents too. Now, all of this is a skill. It's like building a habit. But hopefully, as I'm doing it, you get to see. So, okay, let me go and see what's going on here. I hear some people in the chat becoming Sahara dust. We have some Sahara dust in the chat earlier. Well, they don't let the Sahara dust bother you. Put on all your masks. Okay. Sahara dust, them hard to find, boy. It's time. TikTok, are you behaving out over there on TikTok? Is not in the TikTok chat. The TikTok chat well behaved is in the YouTube chat. We have some Sahara dust. Okay, it's time to go on to the question. I can't find them, so we can take a little spare for now. You get through by Sahara dust, by you sneak over the Atlantic there. Alex finished his project in 2 3/5 hours. Ben took 3 1/10 of an hour to finish the same project. How much longer did Ben take than Alex? So we want to see the difference. So we're just going to get the difference. Difference in maths mean subtracting. So 3 1/10 minus 2 3/5. No, maybe one of my admins already blocked him. 3 minus 2 plus 1/10 minus 3/5. So I'm seeing a little issue here in this style that I'm going to use. What's going to happen here? What's going to happen here? Because 3 minus 2 is 1. Right? That's the whole numbers. Let me just highlight it since I've been practicing highlighting them. Let's just trump and follow suit. And we get our whole number here, but the fraction is 1/10 minus 3/5, a smaller fraction minus a larger fraction. And when I change it, you'll see 1/10 minus 3/5 is the same as 6/10. So 1 doesn't subtract 6 like that. So we need to go looking for some help This poor little one that we have here, he had to go and contribute. So I'm gonna bang, take that, never giving it back. This one changes to 0, but the one when it comes across here doesn't add 1. The one adds, remember I was telling you that the other day, you have to go and look at the numerator, the denominator. So it's actually gonna add 10 to this. So this becomes, if you will, this becomes 0 plus 11 over 10 minus 6 over 10, which is what? Which is a half. Well, everybody's getting a half. Why everybody getting 1.5? Hey, real mistakes happening in this fractions, boy. Fractions. Your parents are really telling me fractions is the way to go, Seen some mistakes. How much longer? Oh, sorry. So I need to go and see what they want in the answer. They didn't specify, but it is half hour. It is half, right? So you're gonna put half. It's 2 3/5 hour, 2 1/10 hour. So this is half hour. Now remember I told you all there's 3 ways that they can ask for time. You can ask for time like this, hour / minutes, and you have to fill in there. They can ask it as hours or they can ask it as minutes. So in this case, there's 0 hours and 30 minutes. There's half of an hour and there's 30 minutes. If you understand right, I understand in the chat. This is the 3 ways that you can be asked to express the answer. Let's keep it rolling. 8, Liam spent 1/6 of money on snacks and 2/3 on juice. So he spent in total 1/6 plus 2/3. There's no remainder here, right? It was just straight add these two. So that's 1/6 plus 4, 6. You all understand what I'm doing here, right? 3 into 6, 2. 2 by 2 is 4. We did a lot of this already. So this is 5/6. 5/6 of his money he spent out on snacks and juice. All right, guys, we have to keep moving. We have to keep moving. It's not a full lesson. We are doing review of fraction. It's a Sunday revision session. So some of you all may require some fundamental work on it. If I'm identifying any weak spots, you can track back and learn like your LCM, whatever you're seeing that you're struggling in. Good. If Liam has $18, how much does he has left? Well, left is going to be as a fraction 6/6 minus the 5/6 that he spent. He has 1/6 left. And left in terms of dollars is going to be 1/6 of the 18, and 6 goes into 18 how many times? 3 times. My boy have $3 left. We're gonna do that $3 now, boy, Liam. I've taught so many Liams in the last 5 years. Some of them are quiet and some of them I had to speak to parents. What type of Liam are you? Are you a Liam that your parents get called in, or are you a Liam that's quiet and well behaved, or are you a Sahara that's Liam? Consider the fractions 3/4 and 3/10. The numerators are the same, but the denominators are different. Are the fractions equal? Well, I think it's supposed to line up, right? It's supposed to line up. And she's trying to straight about supposed to line up, right? No, the fractions are not equal. I think because it's on a diagram like this, visually, the numerator represents the shaded part of the bar. Since more of the bar is shaded, in 3/4 than in, what is this, 3/8? No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, than in 3/10. 3/4 is larger than 3/10. I hope that's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's one way. That's one way to see it. How is that, people? I'm going to scroll to the next question now. Why is everybody? I just had to ban the next person there. Oh boy. YouTubers. And I banned 2 more people in a rush there. It's like panorama here, boy. Ban after ban after ban. So solve the following. Let's go. I'm cooking in the maths, cooking in the chat. I can't be bubbling two pots at the same time. solve the following. TikTok, thank you for being well behaved. YouTube, send some congratulations to the TikTok people. And what is the answer for this one? Everybody got the answer for this one? Yeah, what's the answer? Okay, so let me jump into this. I'm back out of the chat. So 6 by 3 is 18. I want to change this to an improper fraction. I'm feeling to change this to improper fraction. I hope all you're okay with that feeling. 6 by 3 is 18 plus 2 is 20 over 3. Multiply by 3 over 5. Yeah, boy, that's going to work out real nice for my purposes here. By the way, I could also change this to multiply and reciprocate it one time, and nothing is stopping me from doing that. Might as well do it now. So I have to do it later. 5 into 5, 1, 5 into 24, 3 and 3 cancel. So all the smoke that going to come out of this big thing is just 4. Come on, man. Come on. So I get, hold on, why y'all getting 44? Did I miss something? Are you scaring me here, boy? Oh, no, again, 4 and 4 ninths. 4 and 4 ninths. So they're just writing it bad. Okay. So again, 4 multiplied by 10 over 9. So this is 40 over 9. In secondary school, you're totally allowed to leave improper fractions alone. You don't need to fight them up. In primary school, you don't let improper fractions rest at all. If you see an improper fraction, change that to a mixed number immediately. So 9, wait, is it 9 or is it 10? What am I doing? Oh, no. Let me double check this because I'm getting some weird answers here in this chat. 3 3's cancel. 5 into 5, 1, 5, 40 over 9. Okay, good. So 9 will go into this 4 times. Remainder 4. Remainder 4, right? Over 9. 9 and 4 ninths. 9 and 4 ninths. And let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. 5/8 of a number is 45. What's the time? I have a next class to do pretty soon afterwards. So everybody, lock in. Yes, I know all you want me to ban Kyra. It come in, Kyra. Kyra, don't worry. It come in, Kyra. Don't frighten. You'll get it banned. What's up? We have the answer. If 5/8 of a number is 4/5, it's 40. I do this already. Let's do it as fast as possible. 5. We did one just like this, right? 5/8 represents 45. Whole would be equal to 45 multiplied by 8 over 5. That's called the reciprocal. We invert it. And 3/4 of the whole number. What is 3/4 of the same number? Yeah. 3/4 multiplied by 45 multiplied by 8 over 5. We leave everything like this if we have our next fraction to the right, because it just makes our life easier for the breaking down. 4 into 4, 1, 4 into 8, 2. 5 into 5, 1, 5 into 45, 9. 9 threes are 27 times 2 is 54. 54. 54 is the answer for that. So, quick maths. Let's keep it moving. Somebody said they do this in a Subnight paper yesterday. How many papers are they doing a day now? How many past papers you all doing a day? How many NGSA papers you're doing every day? How many SCA papers you're doing every day? Rivaldo had a large pizza and shared it with his friends during lunch. Hey, wait, I'll just press like on the stream there. I want to see something. Total is 880 people. On TikTok, total is 60. Press like, tap up real like on TikTok, press like on YouTube. Share it. If you could share it with your class group, share it with your class groups. I want to see if I can get this to 1,000. Rivaldo had a large, tell me what the like count reach. How many likes do we have? Rivaldo had a large pizza and shared it with his friends during lunch. He gave 1/8 of the pizza to Joshua, 2/5 of the remainder to Nasir? What fraction did Nasir get? So after Joshua, I will have to get the remainder, right? I'll have to get the remainder after that 1/8 goes. So that's 8/8 minus 1/8. That's 7/8 is left after Joshua. So far, so good. And Nasir gets 2/5 of the remainder. Nasir, he gets 2/5 of the remainder. But what's the remainder after Joshua got his piece? It's 2/5 multiplied by 1/8. Sorry, 2/5 multiplied by 7/8 is the remainder. Joshua got 1/8. So 7/8. So let's see what happens here. 355 likes. Okay, we're cooking. 2 into 2, 1. 2 into 8, 4. 7 over 20. And I see no answers. 7 over 20 is correct. That's what I'm getting. Let's double check it. 8 over 8 minus 1/8, 7/8. She gave 1/8 of the pizza to Joshua, right? 7/8 was the remainder. Good. Now see, you get 2/5 of the remainder. So I think I did all the maths right. So 2/5 of 7/8. Cross, 4, 5, 27. Good. So what's next? What fraction of the pizza did Revaldo give away in total? Well, Nasir gets 7/8. Joshua gets 1/8. So give away 7/8 plus 7. What was I keep paying 7/8 when it's about 1/8 and 1/8. 1/8 plus 7/20, which is how much? If we add up all of that together, what is that going to be? So the LCM of 8 and 20 is 40 because 20 times 2 is 40 and 8 could go into 40, right? So 40, since I'm adding it, let's just use one denominator. 8 into 45, 5 ones are 5. 20 into this 2 by 14. And we get a nice looking 19 out of 40 of his pizza. Very close to half of the pizza, you know, because half will be 20 out of 20. Basically, half of the pizza the man gave me. And next question. It's the next question. So that question was straight up niceties. Bennett has 285 toy cars of 2 types. He either has sports car or trucks. It's 285. There are 4 times as many sport cars as trucks. So this is a bit of fraction in the form of a ratio. How many trucks does he have? 4 times as many sport cars as trucks. So 4 to 1 is the ratio. So the total parts is 4 plus 1 equal 5 parts. And this 5 parts represent 285. So 1 part would be 285 divided by 5. 5 goes into 28 5 times, remainder 3. 5 goes into 35. So 57. 57 vehicles or 57 toy vehicles, right? And since the truck represents 1 part and 1 part is 57, then that means he has 57 trucks. Are we cooking, ladies and gentlemen? Was that a nice way to just achieve our answer there? No problems? Good. I'm glad that is 57 and not the other number, because something about that other number just activates some of y'all. A display case can hold 12 toy vehicles. How many display cases are needed to display all the sports cars? Well, to get the sports cars, I can just subtract the 57 from the 285 or multiply 57 by 4, because the sports cars represent 4 parts. So which way y'all want to get the sports cars? I could just take away the trucks, or I could just multiply 4 by 57. Let's multiply the 4 by 57. So sports cars is 57 times 4. 4 sevens are 28, 2, 4 fives are 20, 22. 228 sports cars, right? And it can hold 12. So let's see how much cases my guy would need. Now they want to do all the sports cars. So how are we going to do all the sports cars? It means if we get a remainder, we need to get an extra case. We'll need to always round up. That's what they're trying to show us here, right? So cases needed will be 228 divided by 12. So let's just reduce it by 2 for now. Or actually 4. 4 could go into this 3 times. And 4 can go into this 5, 28, 7, 57 times. So 57 divided by 3, which is actually a clean number. 3 could go into 57 19 times. I was shocked. I'm shocked that they give us a clean number like this, 19. So 19 cases. Usually it'll be a little over and you'll have to realize you have to round up by 1. But fine, if they want to make it easier for us, we'll take it. 19 display cases. To improve her diet, guys, we are about the halfway mark, so we may finish at 2:30. To improve her diet, Leah ate 4 servings of oatmeal a day, which is 3 1/6 cups of oatmeal. What? What they're saying is 4 servings represent 3 1/5 cups. That's what they're saying. 1/6 cups. How much oatmeal will she consume if she eats 28 servings? Yeah, that's exactly what they say. So 4 represents 3 1/6. So we could FFO. What does FFO stand for? Find 4, 1. Let's say 1 will represent 3 1/6. Let's check it. Change time proper fraction 1 time. 3 by 6 is 18 plus 1 is 19 over 6 divided by 4. When you're finding for 1, finding for 1 is always a division process. So you always divide. It's always a division operation. So I'm going to have the same as multiply by 1/4 because divided by am I skipping too many steps? You all catch this? Everybody's locked in here. So it's the same thing like fraction represents a number, so the whole is the reciprocal of the fraction, but in this case the fraction is a whole number. It's the same concept, everything. And I'm not going to work out this. I don't care to work out this yet because I'm seeing 28 servings. So 28 would mean you multiply everything here by 28. 19 over 6 multiplied by 1/4. And 4 can just go straight into 28 7 times. And I'm not going to get a nice number here. This number has no kind of respect. Like this is this number is commanding no respect. What kind of 7 multiplied by 19 over 6? What kind of wild number is this? Why this number real wilding up the scene here? Boy, 19 times 7, 7 9s are 63. 6 7 1 6 7, so 133. 133 divided by 6. How much times 6 could go into 133 earlier? So I'm getting 133 divided by 6. And 6 goes into 133. 6. Oh, shucks. I forget to put my picture from ChatGPT earlier. Didn't remind me. All right, it didn't do a good picture. I don't make it do over the picture. They remind me to show the picture. Remember, I typed for ChatGPT to send a picture. 6 into 13 is 2. Remainder 1. 6 into 13 here is 2. What was the question? Remainder 1 over 6. 22 1/6. Anybody else get 22 1/6? I'm getting 22 1/6. This is one of those naughty questions where your answer have your second guess in your whole life. 22 1/6 cups. So let me go and check this. I don't like how all of this looking actually. It looks kind of... Let me see if I can come up with another method to help non-fraction loving students. To improve her diet, Leah ate 4 servings. Well, I can actually do 4 into 28 one time. So that's what they really wanted me to see. 4 into 28 represents how many 4 serving portions. Let's call it a portion. Portions would be 28 divided by 4 is 7. 7 groups of 4 then. So this is just 7 times 3 1/6, which turns out to be 7 times 19 over 6, which turns out to be 133 over 6, which turns out to be 22 1/6. So this may be the way that most students naturally progress with this question. Did you do it like this? 22 1/6. Let's see if this thing came up with it. Copy. The moment of truth, the unveiling of our lesson. For those of you who just popped in, because now we have a combination of over 900 students here. Total over 1,000 if you include TikTok. And I want to... What is this? I want to just recap this. At this stage in the game, your aim is to throw silly mistakes, silly mistakes out of the window. So we did a little pause somewhere, and where is it? It's right here. And we were like, these are the methods that we use to yeet the silly mistakes out the window. We underline the key points in the question. What else do we do? If the question is easy, you try to do it mentally first. That gives you it gives you one round of the question. It makes you do one round of the question. And then, if it's a hard question, you think about the way to get to the answer. You plan out your way to get to the answer. Then you start writing. Make sure you do statements. When you get the answer, you want to find a way to check over the answer. So here's how you check over the answer. You read the last bit of the question to see if you're asking yourself, did I really answer the question for real? Did I answer the question? And if you did, well, you go on. You also want to see if there's another way to get to the answer. You saw in this paper self right here, I did a question and sometimes I do another way. And once I get the same answer, I'm very happy about that. There's another thing you can do. Sometimes you can take the answer in some questions and plug it in back into the question, like algorithm questions, and see, is this working out for real? Does the answer line up with what they want me to do? And a question we did that in was in this question. I took my answer and I plugged it in. I call it Peter or Sita. That's what I call it. Trademark Kerwin Springer. Anti-Sita. Substitute in the answer. So you're going to have 5 sevens. You multiply 5 by 7, 35, 36 over 7, 7 over 3. This worked out to give me back the number from the question, and that's a solid way to check over your answer. That's well, if you do this method, you may save yourself a 5-10%, especially those of you all who are getting in the 90s and your parents are always calling and saying, so he doing real good, he just losing 5% all the time for silly mistakes. Let's get rid of those silly mistakes. So let's go into number, is it 15? Jamal's, sorry about shaking up the screen like this. Jamal's vanilla cake required 2 sevens. Hold on 1 second. How are these words coming through? I'm going to have to put a stronger filter on my YouTube, because what? What is the total amount of frosting he used on Saturday? He baked 38 vanilla cakes, 7 cups of the frosting for its filling. I don't understand this question. I have to read it again. Jamal's vanilla cake required 7 cups of frosting for its filling. Okay. 7 cups for one cake, right? He baked 38 of them, so I need to multiply by 38. What is the total amount of frosting he used on Saturday? Okay, total, he has 38 times 2 sevens. Sure, they didn't want to make that 28, but to help me out here, because look at this. So, all these fractions, they didn't be done in fractions like these are fractions workshop. So 7 into 7, 1. 7 into 2, there's another way to do this. What else was I going to do? Multiply by 2 afterwards. Let's go all the way. So 2 by 38 is 76 over 7. 7 goes into this 10 times with 6 sevens, right? So 10 and 6 sevens. Everybody get this? 10 and 6 sevens. So I just multiplied and then divide. That was the fastest way here. That's cups of frosting. And then we move forward. Between which two whole numbers do your answer lie? So 10 and 6 sevens is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 10 and 6 sevens will be right about here, so. No, about here, so. 10 and 6 sevens. So it crossed 10, but it's before 11. So it's between 10, 11. It's between 10 and 11. All right, so whoever make up this paper, they really do me an injustice, boy. The amount of 6 sevens they pay in this paper. They don't know who are teaching, why it have so many 6 sevens. So the teacher who make up this paper probably sit down and just watching the carnage. I see you, teacher. I see you. I will deal with that teacher afterwards. So Maya spent 3/8 of her monthly allowance on snacks. She spent $144 on a new backpack. Which amount of 4 nines, which amounted to start over time. I need to bring it together. Everybody say lock in. So 3/8 of a monthly allowance on snacks. They love to spend money on snacks in SEA. She spent $144 on a new backpack. Ooh, this is a quantity. This is not a fraction. But I feel I know where they're going to this. Which amounted to 4 nines. So 4 nines represents this. How much did she spend on snacks? So great. 4/9 represents 144. I can find the whole. The whole is 144 multiplied by the reciprocal. I don't need to find the whole. I need to spend how much she spent on snacks. I need 3/8 of the whole. So 3/8 of the whole is going to be 3/8 multiplied by 144 multiplied by 9/4. Everybody cooking? See what's happened when we lock in? Wonderful things. So 3/8 of a monthly allowance of spend on snacks. We're coming back to that. $144 represents 4/9. That's what I spend on a new backpack. So 4/9 is 144. Find the whole and then find 3/8 of the whole. And I left it all at once so I can get some breaking down stuff going on here, right? 4 times 8 is 32. Does 32 go into 144? We'll find out. Stay tuned. So 0.41, 4 into 144, 4 goes into 14. 3 times, you mean that 2 into 24, 6. 6, right? Yeah, 4. Yeah. 4 by 6, yeah. 3 12s, 3 4s, 12 12s, 4, 144. Great. So 8 doesn't go into 36 exact, but 4 can. So wait. Is this money? I'm going to get a decimal. Why y'all not putting the answer? Put some answers in the chat. 3 times 36 times 9 times 8 divided by 8. 3/8 of a monthly allowance on snacks. She spent 144 on a new backpack, which amount to 4/9. How much did you spend on snacks, right? 3/8 on snacks. Great. So 4 into 4, 4 into 8, 2, 4 into 36, 9. And was that 9 still living there? We have a lot of numbers still living here. So this is 3 by 9 is 27 by 9. And then half of that. Oh boy. So 27 times 9. 9 times 7, 63, 6, 9, 2. I think 7 is 63, bring across the 6. 9 2s are 18 plus 6, 243. And then I want half of that. So 2 into 200, because I have to divide by 2. 2 into 243, 12, 1.5. And I have to put it like this because it's dollars. 12150. 12150. Does that make sense? I can plug this back in. I could have plugged it back in if I had worked out the whole, but good thing I didn't work out the whole because I'd get a fraction and then. So I'm feeling to plug back in nothing. We gonna live with that. We gonna live. All we living in, we living with this. It feels good. Smell that goodness. Let's keep moving. Kendra used 1/6 of her sticky notes and gave 3/5 of the. Whoever is coming up with this question, I can put a little space after the fraction. Please, this absence of the space here is just bothering me. Kendra used 1/6 of her sticky notes and gave 3/5 of the remaining sticky notes to her cousin. She now has 36 sticky notes left. How many sticky notes did Kendra have at first? Why I have to keep reading these questions over and over for boy? She has 1/6 of her sticky notes. She gave 3. She used 1/6 and 3/5 of the remaining went to cousin. Good. And this is how much she has left. So this is a double remainder question. So the first remainder, and we do 2 or 3 like this already, is going to be 6 out of 6 minus 1/6, 5/6. Bang. 3/5 of the remainder. 3/5 of the remainder was given to cousin. I don't want to find out that because that's how much. 36 is what she have left. So I want the second remainder. So the left or the second remainder is going to be not 3/5, it's 2/5, right? But I can show I get the 2/5. 5 out of 5 minus 3/5. Multiply by the first remainder, 5/6. Everybody catch this? This is the third time I'm doing a question like this. So I hope everybody locked in here. You find the remainder and then you find the remainder again. So you get 2/5 multiplied by 5/6. Bang, bang. You get a nice looking 2/6. 2/6 is left. Now this represents something. This is 2/6 of the entire amount of sticky notes. 2/6 represents 36. So the whole is going to be 36 multiplied by the reciprocal, 6 over 2. One third, 3. I'm getting 108. But let's go double check this again. First remainder is 6 over 6 minus 108. Sounds good. I can always double check back the 108 and I'll show you how to double check by the 108. 6 over 6 minus 1/6 is 5/6. And I think some people may have just worked out the 3/5 and gave 3/5 of the remaining. So it's actually 2/5 of the 5/6 is what's left. 5 and 5 cancel. 2 over 6. 2 into 2, 1/3. So multiply by 3. So 36 times 3 is 108. A lot of you all made a mistake in this question. Double check it. Double check it. Doubly check it. Yeah, you all use the 3/5. Oh, that's the mistake students always make. They forget to get the second remainder. That's the mistake students always make. So it's 108 stickers. 108, 108, 108, 108, 108. So much room they wanted me to do that question in mind. Okay, fine. How do we double check it? Let's do the double check thing. So SE is finished. You do all your questions. You want to double check this one because it was so tricky. Fine. So you'll be like 108 stickers. She used 1/6. So let's take out 1/6 of that. So if she used 1/6, 5/6 is left. So we can just go with 5/6, right? 5/6 times 108 is going to be equal to what? 6 into 6, 1, 6 into 10, 1 remainder 4, 6 into 48, 8, 18 times 5. 18 times 5 is very close to 20 times 5, so it's 90. So 90, right? So 90 is what we have left. And out of the 90, she gave 3/5 of the remaining sticky notes to her cousin. So if she gave 3/5 to her cousin, that means out of the 90, 2/5 is what she has left. So we're basically finding what is 2/5 of 90. And 2/5 of 90 is 36. 36, yes, praise the Lord. So 5 into 90, that's the same thing you would say when you double check your stuff and you realize it's time to give God praises. 5 into 90 is 18. 2 times 18 is 36 sticky notes. Very nice, very nice. So it does work out. I hope you all understand what I did here. This is me plugging back in the answer I get very quickly. This is where you're allowed to do some scribbles. Like if you're working this, plugging it back in the side, you can do that scribbles on the side, right? You just checking over your work, but you must have your statement clear like this. I use prompts. I keep my equal signs under each other. I separate my work into segments. You can take this style and take it to the bank. I don't just teach SE and NGSA. I teach CSEC Maths, taught pure maths, add maths, and I did mechanical engineering. So all the way up to mechanical engineering, you can use that same statement format. We have detected inactivity during your current live. Complete the verification to continue your live. I'll just give me a second to drag this puzzle piece. Boom. Before they give me our next strike on TikTok. In the year 2016, Zayden was 2/8 of his dad's age. In 2026, his dad is now 50 years old. How old would Zayden be in 2022? Cool. I don't think I have it in me to work out this question right now, Nalia. I don't know if I have it in. I don't know. I don't know if I have it in me right now to work out this question. Oh, geez, and ages. Alright, guys, let me see. And I have to work this out without algebra. And plus, people get on naughty in my YouTube chat. Let's give me a little second to deal with Vanessa and whoever else them shouting here. They like Auntie Sita. Auntie Sita is the thing. Uncle Peter and Auntie Sita. Peter and Sita. Oh, look like they done get blocked already. As slow on the draw. Them admins, them blocking people fast, boy. Night, I no break time now because I have a next class to do at 3 p.m. In the year 2016, Zayden was 2/8 of his dad's age. In 2026, oh yeah. So here's how we'll approach this question without algebra, right? What is the difference between 2016 and 2026? Who can tell me that? How old his dad was in 2016? So 2026 daddy is 50. That's that. But how old will he be in 2016? That's what I will do. I'll take back all them 10 years and get 40 years. So now I know Pop's age in 2016. That's how I'm doing this without algebra. How old will, and wait, in 2016, Zayden was 2/8 of his daddy. So Zayden, back in 2016, was represented by 2/8 of 40. 8 into 8, 1, 8 into 45, 2s are 10 years. So Zayden was a nice 10 years, and I realized some of you all liking that name Zayden. I like the name Zayden. I see some people say they find Zayden is a nice name. Wait, I do this wrong? 8 into this 5, 5, 2, 10. Right, so 10. So great. So how many years passed since 2016? So 2016 back up to 2026? No. Read the question carefully. They're sneaky. They put 2022. So that's an add 6 more years, not 10 this time. So Zayden is now going to be, I gotta add 6. 10 plus 6 is 10 plus 6 is 16 years. What a lovely question. We love it. We love it. I just needed to get my act together and I would have been able to get to the question. So we move in. In a class, there's a box of markers that contain red, blue, green, and black. 2/5 of the markers are red and 3/8 of green. They are equal number of blue and black markers. What fraction represents the blue and the black markers? Okay. So this is just pure fractions. Anytime you see a question with just fractions alone, that means the question have just fractions alone. What a circular thing to say. So 2/5 are red and 3/8 are green. But it means you don't need to worry about finding 2/5 of something and of a quantity that is. You just stay in fractions, right? So don't let these questions frighten you, These questions can be cake and ice cream too. You just need to practice. So add up these two fractions now. Hold on, I can't add it up. 2/5 of the markers are red. 3/8 of the remainder are green. Not this type of question again, boy. Give me a chance with these double remainder questions now, man. So 2/5 are red, so the red is 2/5. Green is, and I'm just going to do the shortcut now, 3/8 of the remainder. The remainder is 3/5. So I'm not showing you how I get the remainder because we do a good bit of it already, right? So green is 3/8 of the remainder, and I can work this out. I don't really need to. I'm not seeing the need to work it out, but I can work that out. So 9 out of 40, right? So, so the remainder that will be not green or red is going to be 5/8 of the 3/5, which represents 5 3s are 15 over 40. So just to be clear, 2/5 are red, not red is going to be 3/5. If I want to get the green, I can find 3/8 of the 3/5. If I want to get the not green or red, the second remainder, this is the second remainder. This is why I call it a double remainder question. This is the second remainder that students neglect to find. It's going to be of this same 3/5 here, same 3/5 that I use there, I have to find 5/8 of it, not 3/8. Because 3/8 of the remainder are green, 5/8 will not be green. And that turns out to be 15 over 40, which can reduce, and since I want to do stuff with this, I'll reduce it one time to 5 into this is 3, 5 into this is 8. 3/8. We know that number real good. Yeah, equal number of black and blue markers. What fraction represents the black and blue? So I just need to get 3/8 into 2 parts and I'll be good to go. So black plus blue equal 3/8 and they are equal. So black will be equal to 3/8 divided by 2, which is the same as 3/8 multiplied by a half, which is the same as 3/16. So a pretty tough question, a pretty challenging question. Not everybody will be able to get on top of this question, but I hope you all saw the method that I use. And I hope you see also how I can structure my double remainder questions to shorten it. This is definitely a 3-mark question. So 3/16 is black. Moving on. Coming down to the end here now, Sarah used 5/9 of her stickers and gave 2/5 of the remainder to her best friend. She now has 24 remaining. How many stickers does she have at first? Double remainder questions. You all understanding how to do these double remainder questions? Lock in everybody. This is like the 5th one we're doing, so I hope everybody catch on to it now. 5/9 of this, I call it double remainder question, right? And the official name is just a fractions question, but it had 2 remainders in it, so we call it the double remainder question. 5/9 of this just now, Sarah used 5/9 of her sister's stickers. Why can't I say stickers? 2/5 of the remainder to the best friend. Do you even have any sister in this? It's best friend. So used 5/9. First remainder, let's call it remainder, just remainder, will be 4/9, right? I don't need to show you 9/9 minus 5/9 every time. So she gave 2/5 to her friend. So that's the first remainder. The second remainder that we always keep finding, we work it out by 2/5, go to the best friend. So we get this is 3/5, but you need to get of this first remainder. So it's 3/5 of 4/9. Everybody locked in totally to that? So that's like 3/5 multiplied by 4/9. 3 into 3, 1, 3 into 3. So you get 4/15. If you understand, type IU for I understand. Now she now has 24 remaining. That's what 4/15 is. So 4/15 represents 24. So the whole would represent 24 multiplied by 15/4. 0.41, point to the 6. 6 by 15 is 90 stickers. We cooking. We bubbling a pot here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, TikTok, it was nice. Everybody press follow on TikTok. The last 5 questions will be done solely on YouTube. Pulling up the TikTok handbrakes. TikTok, I will be back at 3 o'clock doing Form 1 work, algebra. Hold it down, Alia. Find me on YouTube, Kerwin Springer. Press follow on TikTok if you're not following. And go and press a comment on one of my videos there, please. Help boost me up. I'm trying to reach 200,000 followers on TikTok. All right, so TikTok is out of it. Let's get our last few questions in here. In a farm, 3/7 of the animal are cows, there are 52 goats. So you start off with cows, but now you're telling me about goats. What fraction of the animals are goats? I don't know. I have no idea. I think they meant goats. Who think they meant goats? I think this was a typo. I think they meant goats. Because they can't be telling me about cows and then switch to goats, right? So 3/7 of the animals are goats. There are 52 goats on the farm. What fraction of the animals are goats? This isn't making sense. 3/7 of the animals are goats. No, it's still not making sense. So it had to be that there are 52. I don't know what to make of this question. 3/7 of the animals are cows. There are 52 goats. Is that the remainder goats? All right, well, I have to assume the remainder are goats. So let's just put in this line in. The remainder are goats. Let's hope that this works out. If it doesn't work out, when somebody says, sir, you are a goat. 10 years ago, that would be an insult, the biggest type of insult you could ever give. But these days, that is a good thing when people say he's a goat. I mean, the greatest of all of them, but I'm not the greatest of all of them. What fraction of the animals are goats? So the remainder will be 7/7 minus 3/7. 4/7. Up there. And in the Caribbean, well, how many animals are there in the farm altogether? So if 4/7, yeah, I feel that's what they meant. 4/7 represents goats, which represents 52. The whole is going to be 52 multiplied by the reciprocal, 7/4. And we know 4 could go into this 13 times, and 13 times 7 is 91. 70 plus 21 is 91 animals. So yeah, this is definitely what I meant. 91, just a line was left out. Number 22, we coming down to the end, boy. Veer. I think there's a Veer. What your name doing here, boy? Veer? Veer had 12 and 3/4 hours of video game time allocated for the weekend. He played the video game for 5 and 2/5 hours on Saturday. How many hours of game time does he have left on Sunday? So Veer, you could play so much game. I hope none of you are playing so much game in the weekend. I need to keep that for after exams. So left means subtract. So 12 and 3/4 minus 5 and 2/5 in this scenario. 12 minus 5, and we'll add it on to 3/4 minus 2/5. Let's proceed. So this is equal to 7. Guys, lock in, lock in. Lock in. 7 plus 20, 4 into 5, 20, 25, 3s are 15, 5 into 24, 2s are 12. So you get 7 plus 3/20. 7 and 3/20. Video game playing time left. Oh yes, give me some strength here as we bring it down to a close. 12 minus 5 is 7, 3/4, 4, 5, 20, 15. I wonder if I have the energy in me to teach our next class, boy. Why did I say 5 into 24? This should be 8, and did I make a mistake? 4 into 20, 5 3s are 15, 5 into 20, 4 2s are 8. 4 2s are 8. Guys, Alina following up with me now, Alina. And then I lock in, right? Lock in the chat and lock in. Right? Lock in the chat and lock in the. They're supposed to be locked in. Let me see. 12 minus 5 is 7. 3/4 minus 2/5. Was it 3/4 and 2/5? It was. LCM of 4 and 5 is 20. 4 into 20. 5 3s are 15. 5 into 20. 4 2s are 8. So yikes, there should be 7. So yeah, there should be 7. A couple of people locked in, man. Alright. I had to go and find somebody. They keep calling a name in the chat here again on naughty. I have a bad Sahara dust they blowing up. Let me see if I could find she. But all you call her name more than she write her own thing. I not seen the ban her already. Like they find her, they ban her. Like the admins don't deal with the Sahara dust. She gone. Big up the past students from. Hey, we reaching shout out session. We reaching shout out session yet, huh? We ain't reaching shout out spot yet. If I played if you played 5/7 of the remaining time on Sunday morning, how many hours did you play the video game on Sunday morning? So he played 5/7 of the remaining time. Of the remaining time is 7 and 7/20. 7 and 7/20. So to make my life easy, I can change the sign in proper fraction. So I'm going to get 147 over 20. 7 by 20 is 140. And 7 could go into this 21 times. 5 will go into this 4 times. So I'll get 21 over 4. And I will get 5 and a quarter. 5 and a quarter. Lock in, people. Still looking for this person that you're talking about. I don't want to see her name. Yeah, you mustn't say the Sahara, that's her name. They feed off of attention. You starve the attention and all of a sudden. It's gone. Let me load up the next question whilst I look for this person. Needle in the stack, boy. Alright, I find them. The deed is done. It has been done. Took a while too, boy. Number 23. Third to last question, everybody lock in there. At the summer sport camp, 1/3 of the campus played basketball, 3/7 of the remainder played volleyball, and the rest played tennis. What fraction of the played basketball and volleyball? So 1/3 is attributed to basketball, and 3/7 of the remainder played volleyball. So volleyball, which I could work it out, is 3/7 of the remainder. Remainder is 2/3, right? So I'm going a little shorthand here. So this is 2/7 when the 3's cancel. And then the total fraction for basketball and volleyball is going to be equal to the 1/3 plus the 2/7, which is going to be 21 as the LCM. 3 into 21, 7 by 1 is 7. 7 into 21, 3 by 2 is, that's not 3, 7 by 3, 2, 6. So yeah, you get 13 over 21. 13 over 21. Everybody locked in? The vibe of our SCA class. So we have some, if there are 210 campers in total, how many played tennis? So we can just get the rest played tennis. So this is how many played basketball and volleyball. So you can just work out 8 out of 21 to get the tennis, right? So tennis is going to be 8 out of 21 of the 210, the remainder fraction. So this is 8 out of 21 multiplied by 210. Fortunately, that goes into a clean number of times. So you get 80 campers playing tennis. There we go. So in an SEA class, if you have a Sahara that's giving trouble, you have the Sahara that's giving trouble, you have the bulk of students who paying attention, but then you have the people who quarreling with the Sahara that's. So you're going to spend your whole time in class. Hey, hush now. Think. Hey, why y'all don't just hush? And then it have people who telling you people to hush. And then just going on and on. SEA teachers in primary school, how do you guys make out with that, boy? How always make out? You must give all the teacher ease up. I hope it's not like no bad behavior and no kind of easy KL behavior again. Sarah has 350 V-Bucks to spend with her 2 friends in a game. I'm just ban some people who get on a little too hyper. I don't need to be telling anybody to shut up and them kind of thing. Is that? I don't think your parents send you on YouTube to be quarreling with a random person. That could be a grown man. That's something. There are weird people online, There are weird people online. You don't be quarreling with nobody online. You just pay attention and type your 80 in the chat now, man. You type your answer and forget about them. You do your thing. Anyhow, so what fraction of the V-Bucks did Shania get? Fraction. Why are people putting numbers? It should be a fraction, right? So Sarah has 350 V-Bucks to spend with her friend. What's V-Bucks? She spent 2/5 of them on Roblox money on an outfit for her friend Chloe and 3/7 on V-Bucks of the remaining. So a double remainder question yet again for Sonia. 3/7 of the remaining. So 2/5 went to Chloe. The first remainder is going to be 5/5 minus 2/5 is going to be 3/5. And Sonia gets 3/7 of the remainder. So Sonia gets 3/7 of the 3/5. That's the first remainder. Nothing to cancel here, so this is just 9 over 35. How many more V-Bucks did Chloe get than Sonia? So you gotta work out how much Chloe get and how much Sonia get. Excuse me. So Chloe gets 2/5 of the 350, which is going to be a nice looking 140. Sonia gets 9/35 of the 350, which is going to be a nice looking 90. So we have 90 versus 150. 90 versus 140, sorry. So the difference is 90 minus, no, sorry, 140 minus 90, which we all know to be 50 V-Bucks. 50 V-Bucks. If you're ready for the last question, say ready. Focus, people, focus. I need to put some stricter rules on my chat though. It used to have, so like some weird things are slipping through. So thanks for reminding me about that, guys. And you all are these smaller sessions. This is the SEA session. When I go into the CXC session, there's thousands of people in the chat. So I need to be prepared for that. Number 25, a pet supply store sells bird feeds at 6 cents per gram. Naim bought 7/12 of a kilogram. Zane bought 5/8 of a kilogram. Kida bought 3/4 of a kilogram of bird feed. Calculate the difference in the mass between the smallest and largest quantities of bird feed bought. They hit me for 6 with this last question, where they come and they step up and they swing and bang, we over the fence. So Naim bought 7/12, 5/8. So let's find the biggest fraction. I kind of have my hunches already, the biggest fractions. But let's change all of them to 24. So 24 equivalent fractions. 12 into 24, 2 by 7 is 14. 8 could go into 24 3 times. 3 5s are 15, so that's bigger. 4 could go into 24 6 times. 6 3s are 12. Oh, this is the smallest one actually. 4 into 24, 6 3s are 18. No, it's the biggest. I want to know. So 18, right? So this is the biggest, and you want the difference between the smallest and largest quantities. Biggest, smallest. So I can go ahead and find the difference one time. Might as well do it. I might as well do it. So the difference, now be careful, this is not all. The difference in mass, there's some more to go. So the difference is going to be 18 over 24 minus 14 over 24, which becomes 6 over 24, which becomes 1/4 kilogram. So the difference between the biggest and the smallest that ain't feeling right at all. I'm not feeling right at all. I do a mistake. So this is 4. 18 minus 14 is 4. 1/6. Maybe I could tell you all what caused me to raise the flag. I didn't realize that I did a mistake when I said 18 minus 14 is 6. I don't know what I was thinking that made me say 6. But if I minus 1/4 from this, I'll get a half, and that's 7 over 12. So that's when I realized I made a mistake. So this is 4 into 4, 1, 4 into 24. 4 into 4, 1, 4 into 24, 6, right? 1/6. 1/6 makes more sense. It does. 1/6 is 2/12. Yep. So 1/6 makes more sense. So 1/6 of a kilogram is the difference. Let's go. We nearly finished. So 1/6 is the difference. Calculate the amount of Zayden paid for the bird feed that he purchased. So Zayden is this guy. He's 15 out of 24. Or 5/8 of a kilogram. 5/8 of a kilogram represents 0. Remember, 5/8 is 675, 625. 625 kgs of a kg, which is equal to 625 grams. Everybody understand what I just did there? That's Zayden. So they're sneaking a little measurement into this. But that's not what we want to know. Although we know the grams, it's actually a certain amount for grams. 0.06 per gram. So I'll need to multiply by 0.06. So amount paid is going to be 625 grams multiplied by 0.06 cents every gram. So I just need to multiply 6 by that and bring back the decimal point 2 places. So 625 times 6, 30, 0, 3, 6 2s at 8, 12 plus 3 is 5. Cross to 1, 6 6 is at 36, 37. Bring back the decimal place 1, 2, smack dab in the middle there. $37.50 is how much Zayden will end up paying for his amount of bird feed or whatever it was. I forget what it was, 37.50. It was bird feed. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to an end of a bunch of fractions questions. So most likely in the exams that you face in March for SEA and for NGSA in April, most likely the exams that you face will have one or two of these questions almost exactly like how you see them here, just numbers change up and the topic change up, and you will mash it up. Go forth and make your nation proud. Go forth and make your community proud. Next week, we will be doing another challenging topic. That topic is called unequal sharing. Look out for that. Most likely next week is the big monster topic of unequal sharing. Students normally have the most problems with that. So, love and blessings to everyone. In half an hour, I'll be back to do some work on algebra. I would advise if you're an SEA, don't bother to tune into that. But if you have someone who is in Form 1, you just let them know to pop in, right? And I am going to do 3 shout outs. I always say I'll do like 3 and end up doing a whole set, but let me just do 3. I'm looking for long shout outs. Let me go on my TikTok. That's a faster way to do it. There's so many shout outs on YouTube. Do I have my TikTok open? I will read any comments or anything I see pop up on TikTok. Oh no, the first thing I see is an ad. So shout out to Kimmy V, who just said hi. And Rup. Shout out to AJDB217. Let me just pop one of the YouTubers on the chat. I do an SEA, shout me out. Please shout me out, Mr. Springer. Pop out a shout out there. A couple of people just popped in and liked the video. Kiki, what's up? So shout out Caleb, Kelsey from your Friday class. Big up Kelsey from my Friday class, and Farah. See, I say I'm doing 2 shout outs and I end up doing 1 million. Where's the self-control? Big up Star Army on TikTok, who just popped in there. Penal government. I went to Shoguna's government and I had a really nice time there. So big up Miss Diva and Shoguna's government. Shout out Zendaya, Sierra Ram, Vista Bella, Miss Hart's class, all the teachers who send their students to my Sunday sessions and tell them lock in and revise. Teachers, big shout out to you. Vista Bella, Jendai, Naya. See? That's not 3 shout outs. Yep, shout out to Adam from Shoguna's government, who always pops up in the chat. Or everybody from the student hub. Guys, get ready for the big crash course tomorrow. And just like that, somebody wants me to come to the Presbyterian school. I'm very busy for the month of March. You can probably reach out to the admin in the student hub. The number is scrolling right below the screen. If your teacher reaches out, we'll see if we can coordinate any additional school visits. But until then, it's later. Love and blessings. 1 hour and 30 minutes of fractions is now on the board. Big up the Guyana crew in the chat. Always nice to have you guys. I was in Guyana yesterday, in Diamond Vale, and shout out Kerwin Springer. I think this is the first time. I think this is the first time in all of Sunday revision session I ever shout out myself. Somebody wanted to shout me out. So big up you. And big up me. Everybody later, Nelson Street later, everybody later. Make a link.